Thomas rolled out.
It took me a moment to realise what it was I was looking at. He looked at me and said,
Hiya, Mr. Hartley.
it dawned on me what Hans Gertzer and his dad had done. One woman passed out as Thomas smiled at us. I had to run up the inside of the shed.
Hey, are you alright, Keith?
As news spread across the country, the world's media rushed to Sodor Island.
Oh, ITN, I remember this as a baby.
They kept trying to interview me. I became a bit of a celebrity.
Controversy on Sodor Island. Questions asked about science ethics.
It's fair to say I was pretty nervous at times,
Joined now by Keith Hartley.
but I think I put on a brave face.
What did you think when you first came to meet Thomas the Tank Engine?
Whoa, just threw up.
Most of my mates said I looked pretty good on telly. The mayor said I'd represented the people of Sodor very well. It's important to show you're confident when people are asking you awkward
Thomas looks
questions.
really grumpy.
Good evening. In acts of mercy or a crime against humanity. I'm joined now by
Even when some of the questions got difficult,
Do you have any
I
clue
made
what
sure
you
I
said?
knew what I was talking about.
What was your reaction when you first met a talking tank engine?
If you can't make an informed opinion, or if you
He
can't
seems to throw up
string together two
every time he
words
hears the
or
word
so,
tank engine.
well, maybe you shouldn't be on there.
There are two sides.
Admittedly, the subject matter was a bit bizarre sometimes.
There are some dark forces at work here.
We're all over the audio.
Serious, they're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
The Gertzer family refused to answer any questions. Behind closed doors, the only question they agreed to answer had been asked repeatedly. Would Thomas work on the railway? The response was an emphatic
I
no.
guess he's gonna have to since
Thomas
he's a
is
tank
DNA
engine
have been
now.
reprogrammed to accept and adapt to the engine structure, using the engine's internal system to maintain his organic functions. What no one could be sure of was how much of the engine was mechanical and how much was organic material. Thomas had been able to move around without coaches, but to work on the railway, his engine would need to be fired up and operated by a driver and fireman. Since no one could be sure how much of the engine was Thomas, the pressure caused by the engine could rupture his organs from the inside, and the incredible heat could boil him alive. Professor Hans and his father vowed Thomas would never work on the railways. Similarly, the two professors were to refuse many requests by people from around the world who wished to be biofused into engines.
There were billionaires offering to pay whatever they wanted to be
What is
converted
that
into an engine
person
or
to
some other
say?
transport. Train enthusiasts too, and people with terminal illnesses were desperate to be made into trains. But for some reason, the Gertzers refused.
But there would be other interested parties, eager to seize on the biofusion gold mine. The independently wealthy Topham Hatt staged a hostile takeover, and within weeks had bought a controlling share in Sodor research. Immediately, the policy of the company changed, and so did the ethics. The medical supply wing was shut down, and work began on mass biofusion experiments and operations. Anyone who could afford it, some handing over their whole fortunes, were turned into engines. But, along with the new policy, there would be worse to come. Biofused engines would be allowed, then obliged, to work on the railways.
The first one we fired up was
Oh,
James.
poor
He didn't
Thomas.
have the money some of these people had, but he agreed to basically sign his life away if he wanted to experiment further, or to take massive risks like this. As usual, the fact had everything recorded.
Ooh,
Kept classified
it's
in
James.
These recordings, shown for the first time, reveal the extent of Sir Topham Hatt's experiments.
It was horrible watching these engines work on the railways some days. But the tourists wanted to see
It
it.
was.
They expected it. And for me, it was work.
But with the new engine's increasing work schedule came more and more accidents.
Edward was first to have problems. He'd been filming all day for the new TV series they'd announced, and for his last scene, he had to pull into Wellsworth Station and whistle to the kids on the platform.
Beep, beep. Whistled Edward. Thank you very much.
What the?
Sadly, this was only the
I don't wanna watch
first
this.
of an increasing number of incidents.
Ugh.
With aircraft had appeared
You're
to
watching
become
it
a
whenever,
factor.
whether you like
The
it or
operation had gone
not.
well, but we had to ban him from being allowed to attempt flight. In an experiment kept secret until now, maybe the diesel engine was to be the first biofuels locomotive used on the railway.
We fueled her up and everything seemed fine. Then things got out of hand.
The diesel began to burn her internal organs. Everything organic in the engine was soon gone.
I'm gonna have nightmares on that.
Screaming pain. We tried rinsing out the fuel tank with water. By then it was too late.
Mavis's body would be kept under lock and key indefinitely. In an unexpected U-turn, Sir Topham Hatt would
You
ban
better
fuel
give me
engines
nightmares,
from being used on the
Spider-Man.
island. Never told why he couldn't fly. But
Be
he
quiet,
keep him alive.
or
Only
else.
for a little while longer. In fact, unknown to the outside world, there had been many failed biofusion experiments.
That fat bastard kept the accidents a secret. And legal disclaimers had to be signed by anyone
Phew.
being biofuels.
He doesn't know when to
So
pack
there'd be
in
no
the
legal
swearing.
action taken if anything went wrong.
This footage shows engines being displayed to tourists
Oh,
during the
There's
off-season.
James again.
Many of these engines were failed biofusion experiments and were too ill to work or were already dead.
Oh, there's
They
Booty
had
the
to put a
Bus.
stop to his afro.
And Casey.
With all accidents
Oh,
happening,
no.
everyone started asking the same thing. Why had Thomas, the first engine,
Oh,
so well?
I don't think I can take
Although the
this.
troubles the other engines had, Thomas had worked fine, seemingly oblivious to the other engines' problems and accidents. Keeping their problems a secret from the outside world, Sodor Research began selling the technology to other countries in multi-million-pound deals. These countries would have less qualms about the use of fuel engines, and even the modern electric trains. Even failed biofused engines were being displayed publicly in what would become a kind of freak show. To his horror, Professor Hans Goetze
What was
saw
that?
this was leading to: slavery of engines, and immediately resigned. His father, Wilhelm, would go one step further.
Oh, I like the music in this house. Holy, he's staring at us. He's got a gun! Oh, a nice picture of Thomas. He's gonna shoot his mouth with it?
Professor Wilhelm
He killed
couldn't
himself!
come to terms with
No!
what was happening to his engine, and took the only course he thought he could take.
That fat got a load of us rail staff over to his house to clean up after the body was taken away. You should have seen it. Sawdust everywhere. Seen it. Sawdust everywhere. It took us days.
But such attempts to keep the incidents
Oh,
in
that
Sodor
poor
secret
thing.
were short-lived after a very public accident.
Gordon paid an enormous amount to be Sodor's first 462 configuration engine. Much bigger than any other engine at the time.
There's
We were
Gordon.
terrified that fat shit would make us fire up that huge engine.
We were shocked to discover he had insisted on being able to work on the railway. So, one night, after the regular staff had finished for the day, Fat Some of the rail staff and I fired up the engine. As usual, these experiments were filmed. This footage has never been broadcast before.
Dr. Ruth and I filmed it all.
Shoot himself?
It might be a bit shaky. It was handheld. At first, Gordon complained about the heat.
What's happening?
Then that turned to pleas to douse the fire.
But that fat bastard held us back. He wanted to see what would happen.
He argued he had put a lot of work into Gordon, and the chances to get him working were too great an opportunity. He was literally cooking from the inside. By the time we were about to act,
Uh-oh.
it was too late.
No!
I wasn't as near to him as some of them. All I could do was run.